and today we will be going into part 3 of the Road to Marriage series, and this one is all about saying I do. So I first want to start off with saying that commitment in marriage, the decision to get married, is to me one of the most important decisions you are going to make in your life. I would even dare to say that this is the second most important decision in your entire life next to salvation. And I say this because let's say the expected life expectancy of someone is, let's say, 80 years or 75. Let's say 80 though, because it's more. And let's say you're somebody like me who got married at 25. This means that you are vowing to commit your life to someone else for more than the amount of years than you've actually been alive. That is huge. It is so big. And that is one of the reasons why before you say I do, it's important to really realize what you are saying I do to, and how great the commitment is once I do is done. Now, vows are so important. My husband actually, well, before we got married, he spoke with me and he said that he wants us to write our own vows. And honestly, I was like, I don't know about that. Mostly because I'm thinking it has to sound all pretty and all nice and all sparkly and all happily ever after. He was very just like, no, this is what we need to do. This is what I really want to do. So I went along with it. But what I realized is that it's not about how pretty it sounds. It's about what you want to promise to your spouse and to God. Because when you're standing up there, it's a three-way commitment that's going on. You are making a promise to your spouse in front of God. These are lifelong commitments. So everything that you say during your vows, it's not about it sounding pretty. It's really about your heart and how far you're willing to commit. I know with my husband and I included a little bit of the traditional vows. So like from death do us part, which pretty much means divorce is not an option. And I wrote that on purpose because I knew that in our marriage, once we're locked in, that's it. You know, trials and tribulations and struggles, they're gonna come our way. I know that. You know, life throws curveballs left and right. I am very well aware of that, but I know that because I made that commitment, because I made that promise, regardless of what happens, I'm going to be by my husband's side and vice versa. So when you're writing your vows, or if you don't choose to write your vows and you go the way where they have it in the book for you or whatever, just know that these are lifelong commitments. These are lifelong promises that you are making to each other. It doesn't have to sound all pretty, although pretty is nice. But it's really just about exactly what you're saying and exactly what you're promising to your future spouse. Once you get married, this is a new family. This is a new entity. Too many times people kind of drag their mothers or their fathers and these types of things into their relationship, and that can cause havoc. It can cause chaos. You know, a lot of times you get into something, the first thing you're gonna do, let me get on the phone with my mother and tell my mother how horrible my husband is. No. That's not cool. Once you say I do, you are committing to begin a new family, a new nucleus. You and your husband are now, or you and your wife, if you're a man watching this, you and your spouse are now the new nucleus of a new family. And that's important to understand also, to know that once you say I do, there's no running back to mom or running back to dad when things go wrong. No, you're in this together and you have to work through whatever may happen. And you have to enjoy each other also through whatever may happen. So that's another huge point. When you say I do, understand that you are leaving and cleaving. If you are not ready to do that, then take some more time before you get married, because life can get really real. And honestly, you can be tempted to go back to what you're familiar to, because for all of your life up until this point, when something goes wrong, you know, usually you run to your parents, you run to your siblings or whatever the case may be. But once you get married, especially the wife, because I know with me, you know, I So I feel like with the husband, they're kind of adding more to their family. So my last name used to be Rimple. Now it's Charles. And now I'm an addition to the Charles clan. And I am no longer a Rimple. So I feel like with the wife, it kind of gets real. Like with a woman, it gets really real because you are not only leaving physically, but when your last name changes, that kind of breaks the connection. Now, I'm not saying that you're not going to be family or that type of thing anymore. Of course not. But what I really mean is that it's an actual separation. And you have to understand that when you go into marriage, that separation is real. It's not just your last name. It's not just you getting married and moving. It's a real separation, and it's up to you to make that choice to make the separation real. So that's another big thing to consider once you get married, to look forward to when you get married. I mean, life is an adventure, and I believe, and I've experienced so far, that even though you can't run back to your norm, I can't run back to my mom's house when I'm mad at him or whatever the case may be, this is a new adventure. So this is also a way for God to get glory through your relationship and through your life. Because now if you don't want to go to your husband, you got to go to God. You have to go to God, because those are the three people, that's how this relationship formed. It's those three. Actually, I want to show you something. Hold on one second. I'm back. So this is something that was done at our actual wedding. I don't have the paper with me now, but what happened was my husband held this, and they were loose at the time, and our musicians played really pretty music, and as they were playing, I was tying this into a braid or a knot, and this is called a 3-strand knot. And what it symbolizes is that our relationship is made up of me, my husband, and our God. And this serves as a reminder when things go wrong, this is where our foundation is. It's not in our family. It's not, family is great, don't get me wrong, but this is where the foundation of our marriage lies. This strand, there's been times when I've been angry and frustrated, and I look at this and it's a reminder that, you know what, this is a promise that I made. And I have to take it up with God, take it up with my husband, and it never fails. Once you keep God in the center, your relationship will not fail. So yeah, those are pretty much the tips, the things that I wanted to say concerning saying I do. It is a huge step. Pray about it. Make sure that you're going into it with the right mind. Don't think fairy tale, because life is not a fairy tale, There is a real devil out there who is looking to steal, kill, and destroy, and that includes you and your marriage. Therefore, make sure that you're going into this knowing that this is the person who you want to spend the rest of your life with. And with God in the center, it's going to be all good. So if you're already married, you know that this is fact. If you're going through something, remind yourself of the vow that you made to your husband and to God. And stay true to those, Think about that time when you were standing there and how real those vows were. Make those vows become real again in your heart. And I know between that and God being in the center, you're going to be good money. And if you are engaged, this is what you have to look forward to. It's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful thing. Marriage is amazing. I've only been married for a little over a year, but so far it's been incredible. And in those incredible times, there are some rough times, but you know what? Overall, it's worth it. It's more than worth it. So if you like this video, or if you found it helpful, be sure to share it. Be sure to subscribe. Be sure to like it. Thumbs up it. And I love you all so much. Thank you so much for watching and supporting. And I will see you guys next week. Bye.